Hello students. So we today start our class with tenses. As I said in your last class, we will be studying past tense today. Yesterday we discussed all the four categories of present tense, and today we are doing the same about past tense. As I said in your examination, most questions come from tenses, voices, and everything. And the most important thing in all the other categories of grammar, that is narration and voices, whatever error detections and sentence corrections you do, you have to be aware of the kinds of tenses the sentences are using. Okay, without you knowing the rules properly, you won't be able to detect the correct things. So let us start off with today's lesson, that is the rules and usages of past tense. As I said, that tenses denote the timing of the action, right? Of the action which is being taken place. So past tense denotes actions in the past, as the name suggests, but that is not very easy. There are shades of differences in the timing and everything. So as we start, let's start with simple past tense. See, there are various categories of usages in simple past, as I've listed. Any event completed at a definite particular past time. See, definite particular past time means what? The timing is mentioned. The particular timing is mentioned. When did the action happen? See, in the examples, let's go discuss. We went to watch a film last night. Sorry. So in last night, you see, this last night is the exact timing given to you, right? This is a definite past time about yesterday's night. Okay, the steamer sailed yesterday. As you can see, yesterday, given particularly which time it was, right? So like this, he called me last week. Again, the definite past time is mentioned here. So any event which happened in the past, but and in the sentence you can see that the timing is given. The timing is the past time timing is particularly mentioned, so that will be a simple past tense, right? In the second category, see, often the timing is not mentioned but it is implied. And what does that mean, implied? That means it is indicated. You have to understand, the past event is mentioned and it is indicated. It is, the timing exactly is not provided. India is ruled by British. India was ruled by British, sorry. Yeah, so obviously by reading the sentence you can understand that this is talking about a past event. See, but is there any definite timing given? But still we are using simple past. We are not providing any particular time like last night, yesterday, last week, or 3 years or 300 years ago. No, but it is just implied, it is indicated. You can easily understand that obviously this event took place before. India was ruled by British. I did not sleep well. Again, here, see, this clearly shows you how it is being applied. I did not sleep well means obviously last night is implied. Like the past night, right? We are not giving any particular timing over here, but we are just indicating that I did not sleep well. That means it is obviously about the last night. I studied in Delhi. So again, see, this is a simple past used in a, a sentence denoting past event, a past action taken place in the past, right? Um, so it is like this. But no particular timing is not mentioned. Okay. The third place where we use simple past, see, is imaginary thinking. See, imaginary thinking means imaginary thinking about something I wish I should have done or I could have done. There was chance, but I did not do. You can say any missed opportunity. Any opportunity that we have missed. I wish I could perform better in the exams. See, in this, obviously the use of could is in the past tense. Could is the past tense of can. The speaker wishes that they could perform better in exams. That means maybe the performance was not good. That is why this is an imaginary thinking. This is their wish, that if their longing, you can say, right? Yearning, their longing, that okay, they could have, performed better in the exam. I wish he was my friend. So again, this is an imaginary thinking. That means that that person is not is not my friend, but just I just wish that okay, if he was my friend. So like that, this is a longing. I wish I had more time to prepare for exams. This you must have often thought that usually, on the day of exam we think that I wish if I had more time to prepare, it will be good, it could be better. Yeah, so that is again your longing, your imaginary thinking, your wish that if you could do that, right? So all these kind of sentences we use past tense. We usually talk about them in the past tense. If I could do, agar kar sakti. Okay. Things of general knowledge about the past. See, things of general knowledge about past means these are fact-based things, right? These are facts. But yeah, the event took place in the past, but we denote them as in the past tense. Tagore won the Nobel Prize for Gitanjali. That means what? This event obviously is in the past tense. Is the action already took place in the past? We know that, and the action is denoting that yeah, this is a general knowledge. This is about this is something that everyone knows. Leonardo painted the Mona Lisa. So this is a well-known fact. We all know that, and this event of this action of painting, this fact of Leonardo painting Mona Lisa, it obviously is in the past. It took place in the past, and now this is a fact of general knowledge about past. So all this uses the simple past tense, right? And yeah, pay attention to the structure, as I have written in the brackets, that they use verb plus ed, the past tense of verb, right? The verb plus ed, that means the past tense of the verb. Went is the past tense of go, but yeah, always you can say v plus ed does not make up the past tense, right? Often past tenses are different. Like sail and call have past tenses, sailed and called respectively. But went is the past tense of what? Go. So these are the little things which you should pay attention. Was is the past tense of what? Is. Yeah. I did not sleep well. Did is the past tense of do. So could, as I said, is the past tense of can. He was, I discussed. Had is again past tense of have, of the have verb. Won is the past tense of win. Painted, the past tense of paint. like this. Okay, the second one, coming to the second one, is the past continuous form of verb, form of tense. How do we use that now? Okay, for actions which was going on in the, or in the continuing, or in the progressive stage in the past. It was going on in the past. It was in the process of a live process, I should say. I should say a going on process, a live process. Okay, I was having lunch when you called. That means what? That means the action of having lunch was live, was continuing, was in on the process of happening when you called. Yeah, in the second thing, see, he was studying when his father came back. He was studying when his father came back. That means what? When his father came back, this action of studying was live, was on the continuing condition. And see, in bolds, I've written a very important thing, that there are two actions. There are two actions here. The second one interrupts the first one. Before the first one was going on, when the second one happened, because the second one was going on when the first one happened, and the first one is in past continuous and second is in simple past. Okay, let me explain this clearly. See the two actions, pay attention to the two actions. I was having lunch, right? This is number one action. And what is the second action? When you called. So what are the two actions? Having lunch, calling. But note, the action of calling, this person calling, anyone calling, whatever. When my friend called, you called, Ram called, Sham called, anyone. It can be anyone. This action of calling, it interrupted the first action. It interrupted the action of having lunch. The first action, having lunch. Second action, calling. Second action of calling interrupted the first action of having lunch. That is why this having lunch and this first action of having lunch was what? It did not get over. We will come to that kind of sentence where it gets over and it uses a different tense. It uses some other past tense, right? When this first interrupted action was in the progressive stage, was in the ongoing phase, that is why we have used the continuous form of verb. That is ing, having, was past tense of is, have, having. Having is the continuous form of the verb have. Right. So since the first action was in the progressive condition and it got interrupted when the call came, when that person called, and note, both the actions are in the past. It's not that the second action is later. See, the one which is in the progressive phase will be in the continuous, and the one which is the second action, which itself is interrupting the first action, will be in simple past tense. Okay, because, and both in past tense. Why? As a whole the sentence is in past tense, overall past tense, because the entire action, both the action took place in the past. It totally speaks of past. Both of them speaks of past. That is why. Let's explain with the second example. He was studying when his father came back. Just same to that. What are the two actions in the sentence? Studying and his father coming back, right? Both are the actions. But note, both the actions are in the past tense. In the past. But this father coming has interrupted the action of studying. Number 3 is this studying action was in the progressive condition when this father came, when his father came. Okay, it was not over till then, it was continuing. That is why this first action which has got interrupted and that was in the progressive condition, that was still going on, that is in the past continuous tense. And the second one which itself interrupted the first one is in the simple past tense. And obviously as the entire sentence is in the past, it talks of they have taken past tenses. I hope this is clear, because this is very important. You get mixed with the other category of past tense, because this are very these are the errors they give in the examination, and you have to carefully see that what is the order of the actions. Okay, when there are two actions, one is interrupting the first action. If the first action is still in the continuing process, that will be in the continuous tense, and the one which is coming second, which is itself interrupting the first action, will be in the simple past tense. Okay, the second instance of using the past continuous tense is what talking about past habits, where we talk about past habits. She carried a bottle of water wherever she went. Okay, that means it talks of a past habit of someone who carried a bottle of water. He slept on time when he was a child. See, it is talking of a very past event. When someone was a kid, they slept on time. So obviously, yeah. Okay, the past perfect tense is what, moving on to the past perfect tense, is used when okay, as I have already yesterday said in my video on present tense, that perfect tenses are something very important from the exam point of view. Most questions of errors regarding it can be from tenses, or it can be even from verbs. It might involve the error of verb, but the tense also need to be carefully noticed, because as long if you miss out on the tense, you will do the verbs wrongly, because verb tenses everything are very connected with each other, and perfect tenses are extremely important, be it the present perfect, be it past perfect, be it future perfect, anything. For past perfect, you need to watch my video on present tenses, where I have mentioned very elaborately on perfect tenses and past, and now I'm going to discuss past perfect tenses. Let us see when it is used. Okay, the first instance is it is used when an action are already been completed at a certain moment in past, but not the exact timing. See, this is important, because when the exact timing is given, I have already said you 2 slides before that when the definite time is provided, it is in the simple past, right? When the exact timing, like whatever timing, particular timing, yesterday or last night or last month, anything like that, this is giving you an exact timing. So these always use simple past. But when it is when you don't get the exact timing, but you know nonetheless that this is in the past, you already know that it is in the past, but you don't know the timing. Past is also a huge moment, right? So every past is not the same past. I had seen him when he was in Delhi. So what is this implying? That the action of my seeing this other person has been long completed when he was in Delhi, and we don't know when he was in Delhi. It was just that, in obviously it implies that it is talking about past. That is why this action is using all of them are using past tenses, but this action of seeing has been long completed when he was in Delhi. It does not give me the exact timing. She had written her first poem when she was 10. That means obviously it was in the past. When she was 10, she had written her first poem. Her action of writing poem had been completed at a certain moment of past. At a certain moment of past is when she was 10. This was the moment of past, but there is no exact timing provided to you. Okay, Ram had reached the station long back. Yes, so it is quite evident that this it is talking about an event of the past, and it was in the action of this reaching was complete in the past itself at a certain moment of past. Okay, the second instance is very important, that is when we talk about two actions, one action took place before and was completed before the other action. So, when we talk about the earlier event, we use past perfect. Okay. Now, just going back to that previous thing, which I want to remind you, the past continuous, where I told you that there are two actions, one is interrupting the first action. Here also, almost the same thing is happening. The second action has interrupted the first one, or that means taken place before, after. But here, the only difference is the first action had completed, got over, it got finished. The action was not in the progressive condition like the previous one, which I told is past continuous. No, here it was completed when the interruption took place. That is why, while referring to the first action, we will be using past perfect. The train had left before we reached the station. So, what are the two actions over here? Leaving, the train leaving, and we reaching the station, right? Two actions. Okay. Second action, reaching the station, is interrupting this train leaving action. But here, the train leaving action is already finished. It is not anymore live. It is completed before only. In fact, completed before the second action came to interrupt him. So that is why we have used past perfect. If it would have been something else, and somehow it would be like the train the first event was live, was still on when the interruption took place, so that would be that would have used past continuous tense, right? But when here, as you have noticed that this first action has already finished, that is why we have used past perfect. The train had left before we reached the station. He came after I had left. That means what? Two actions, same thing. He coming, one action. My leaving, second action. My second action has interrupted the first one. Okay. And this leaving, my leaving had already finished. My action has already finished. That is why the one which will be first finished, past, in the past, that means an action that has finished in the past, in the entire past tense. That is why we have used had left. Okay. And the second important thing regarding the perfect tenses is always pay attention to the structure. Always has that would be actually had plus the third form of the verb, that is the participle form of the verb. Always had, and the third form, past participle form of the verb has to be used, like taken, been, like this, slept, woke up, like this. Okay. The fourth is past perfect continuous. Okay. Now here again, as I have said, that perfect tenses are important, so this also comes under that important part. See, the first instance, this is used to denote any action which started in the past and continued till a certain point of time in past, that is, that was in progression till some time in the past. Like, for example, let's learn with examples. He had been working till dawn. That means his action of working was in progression till dawn. Till dawn, that action of working, of the fact of his working, it was a live action. It was in progression, in continuation till dawn. Obviously, that is in the past. The entire thing is in the past, but that was still going on up till the one point of time in the past. Okay. Sita had been practicing English till the last day of holidays. So similarly, as I have told you, till the last day of holidays, this entire thing is in the past, but this practicing English, this action of practicing English was in progression till that past moment. Started in past and continued till past. Started in past and was in live condition in past till a certain point of a past time. The second one is any action which started in the past and still in progression when another action interrupted it. Okay, any action which started in the past and still in progression with another event. This another event thing is very important in past tense. In all the tenses, I'm telling you about when talking of two actions. This thing is vital, which you need to understand. When I joined the college, Ram had been studying there for 2 years. Okay. Now, let us thoroughly understand this example. What are the two actions over here? Same thing, joining college is the first action. Ram's studying is the second action. Okay. The second action has interrupted the first action, but this action, Ram's studying, it started before, it started in the past, it started in fact before a certain point of past, that is before 2 years, and when it is still not finished, it is still in progression, in continuation, in live condition, that is still in live condition when the first one has interrupted, right? When that person have joined the college, there can be anything, when there can be any other third person also. When John joined the college, Ram had been studying there for 2 years. That means the fact of Ram's studying was, it has started before only, it has started a certain point in the past, and that has been still in progression, in continuation till another event. And what is that another event? Of joining the college, of this other person's joining college. That is there. This other person's joining the college is the second action, and during till this time also, this second action, it was in progression and in continuation stage. That is why we have used had been studying. That means the action started in past and is still in progression till past. And why till past? Because I joined. See, join, the past tense joined is used as it totally talks of past tense. Now this important part which I have noted is difference between past continuous and past perfect continuous. See, past continuous shows that it is live, that is the interrupted action is live, but we don't know when the action actually started. It could start any moment, it could have started also immediately. Like I've written, I was having lunch when you called, right? So this action, both are of the past. When this calling action first interrupted, so I was having lunch, my action of having lunch was live, was in progress, but I don't know when I started eating, when the action, when did the action actually start, we don't know. But in past perfect continuous, it also shows that it began much before. It is past in the past, you can say. Past in the past means when the past event is getting interrupted, that by this other action, this other action was in the live condition, and it actually started much in the past tense of the past. That is why it shows that it started much earlier and was in continuation till the next action. Okay, so this is all about this past tense thing. And now let us quickly discuss some exam questions which are there. I have collected from your past question papers, which are okay. Hardly had he sit on the chair than it broke. So this is a sentence improvement question. Hardly had he sit on the chair than it broke. And you have to substitute or improve this wrong phrase which is there. Okay, sit on the is the wrong phrase, and you need to select the correct improvement phrase. First option is sat on the chair when, second is sat onto a chair then, and third is sit in the chair when, and fourth is no substitution. Okay, now since I have written in bold over here the answer, but I'm explaining why. Okay, so hardly had he sat on the chair. Had sit, it won't be the correct one. Why? Because had is what tense? It is the past perfect tense. And past tense, what is the structure of past perfect tense? I have said that had and the third form of verb. And obviously sit, sat, you know the difference, that sit is in the present tense, sat is the past tense of sit, or in fact the third part is third form of the verb sit. That is why simply it is sat on the chair when. Sat, hardly had he sat on the chair when it broke. Okay, the second is mother was watching a movie when the lights were going off. Again, this is a sentence improvement question where the wrong phrase has been bolded, going off, and you have to select the correct sentence improvement, that is went off, no improvement, going off, or have gone off. Okay, the correct is went off. And why? Because where going off is entirely wrong. We can't use two past continuous tenses in both in the same sentence. Pay attention. Mother was watching a movie. Was watching is in the past continuous tense already. The same thing which I explained, that two actions are there. See, mother was watching a movie and the light going off. Two actions. So the second action did what? Did interrupt the first action. But this first action, mother's watching the film, was in progression, in continuation, when the when it just got interrupted. And with why did it get interrupted? Because of this second action, that is going off of the light. So lights were going off is again a second past continuous tense, which we can't use, in a single sentence. We can't use that. So that is why we have to use went off. That is a simple past tense. The second action, the interrupting action, which is the one interrupting, will always have second will always have a simple past tense, because this entire sentence speaks of a past tense. Both the actions are in the past. One action has interrupted the first action. First action was still live when the second action happened. That is why the first action has used past continuous tense already. The second one will be using a simple past tense. The third one is also important, very important, because as I said that perfect tenses are vital. So he had gone to the market last night. And again a sentence improvement. So apparently it seems, in fact it could be an error detection question also, where you don't have to improve the sentence, but you have to detect the error where in the sentence the wrong phrase is given. Okay, it could be had gone to the market or last night. Here it is had gone. Had gone is wrong, and there is a 90% chance that most people think that this is correct because it is in the past tense. But why it is wrong? Because last night, this phrase last night gives you a definite time, and we do not use perfect tense with a definite time. We use simple past tense when the moment is already given, when the time is already given, that is went. So that will be he went to the market last night, because last night is already a definite moment of past when it happened, and simple past is all about that. Simple past is about using when the action already was over in the moment of past. That is why we have used went. Otherwise, if there was no definite time given, he had gone to the market, it won't be like this. It will be something else, different construction of sentence, where there would be a certain moment but not a exact moment of past. Only then we can use past perfect. So I hope that this was clear, because we mentioned almost all the possible kinds of tense question which are asked in the examination. And in the next video we will be talking about the future tense and the usual exam questions which are expected from there, and the rules which have to be learned. So I guess that is clear and enough for now, and thank you.